mercy. Well, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere today unless I keel over of a heart attack.
Oh, no.
Because of these three guys. But anyway, we are ready to do the show. So let's go ahead and do this crazy thing, shall we? Celebrating. We're celebrating?
Yes.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Show. Just ahead, Mr. Mars has an interesting story in his series on banned race cars, and I'm not going to give it away this time. Autorama's Steve Green joins us with a preview of the upcoming show. Woo-hoo! Plus, we'll have the upcoming events calendar and today's news headlines, among other things. It's all just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike, Hairball Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey, we need more, Jeff Zekin. Yep. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Hopefully the phone won't ring and I won't have to leave, because I understand that it was quite the scene here last week after I had to depart the premises.
Push that way to put it. Let me push that button for you over there.
Yeah. Don't touch it, because I had.
You had to reset everything.
Everything.
Jeff had pushed every button and slid every slot.
Totally destroyed it.
It was some good stuff.
We needed two audio guys to come in and fix it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Bad.
You know, the funny thing about it is, I rolled into the driveway right after the show was over with.
Yep. Got a chance to debrief.
Oh, yeah. It was decompress, I think, was more like it, wasn't it?
To say we all got pay cuts.
Yeah, pay cuts. That's what it is.
I want to thank everybody that participated over there and all the good stuff. Specifically, the Women's Prison Bureau. They were texting and tweeting and things like that. And
Enjoying.
To answer the question, no, we don't do conjugal visits. And we're not.
You stopped that last week.
We're not going to do a live remote. So
okay, well, just checking. Anyway,
ever again.
Ever again. Well, apparently, Candace Thackeray actually called me on the telephone.
No.
She said, "Have you listened to listened to your show?" I said, "No, I've been a little bit busy with a real full-time job." Oh my God, I've had to get the tissues out. I've been laughing so hard, I'm crying.
Well, that's good.
And not because it was a kind of a show that led to that. It was apparently the mechanical mistakes.
Started that way.
Yeah.
As soon as that door
she wasn't
closed.
laughing with us. She was laughing at us.
Yeah, that's right.
As soon as that studio door closed, it was that.
Well,
game on.
It is game on now, and it's game on for Autorama. couple of weeks
Welcome
away.
Back.
And joining us now is Mr. Steve Green. So, Steve, it's good to see you, and thanks for joining us. So how long have you been setting up Autorama? How long have you been involved with Autorama? Oh.
Buttons?
No, that's not going to work, Steve, because we have no audio from you now.
No audio.
Something got better.
Did you just switch that off?
I did switch it off.
Put him back on there. Okay, let's hear you now.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Tons better.
Yeah.
All right.
It's that metal box that you put the phone in that doesn't really lend to broadcasting.
All right.
Okay.
Now, I've been involved with the Houston show since 2010.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Well,
Yes.
that's almost as long as we've been going out there.
There's a vote of confidence.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that we.
So how long have you been involved in Autorama nationally? Because I know Houston's one of the shows, but you guys are you pop out in many cities.
I mean, previously before that, when the Millwinders ran the show, my truck club, we did the burnout contest at the show when they used to have it there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of got started in with the Autorama series. And then the Millwinders retired, and they were looking for someone else, and we were lucky enough to get the gig.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, apparently you must have done something right, because they keep having you back every year.
There's the burnouts.
Yeah.
Well,
We also run
I'm sorry?
for them, too.
Say that
We also
again?
run the Dallas Autorama, we run that for them as well.
Okay.
Very nice. I did not know that.
Well, like I said, Autorama, they're
Pull that microphone closer.
They pop in all different places around the country with different awards and stuff too. What do they call the award up in Dallas?
It's called the Fab Four, and the Dallas Diamond Award.
Dallas Diamond. Okay.
So, how many cars are you anticipating being there, and how long does it take you to load those in?
Okay, here in Houston, total, we're going to have close to 500 vehicles under the roof.
Wow.
And, that includes different sections that we have. But we actually use 2 full days to move in all those vehicles.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you don't get there on Tuesday, good luck on trying to squeeze down those aisles and get your booth set up.
Now, do you work with or are you part of when the vendors are there? All the folks that sell the,
trinkets and stuff.
Trinkets and baubles and things. You got to work around them, or you work together on that. How does that?
I also work with our commercial vendors.
Okay,
and so. We have all the car exhibitors come in one door, then we have the commercial vendors come in another, and I've got a set of guys here and a set of guys here, and we all get everybody placed. And
so you do the floor plan to decide where everybody's going.
Yes, me and a couple other people on the team, we work on that the week before.
Are we next to Craig Bierman again this year?
Yes.
Thank you.
Apparently, there's some sort of something going on there. I'm not exactly sure because we always wind up next to him, which is just fine with us.
Yeah, it works
Matter
great.
of fact, the Speed and Sport chrome plating booth is going to have a couple of new vehicles in it.
Okay.
And I think that you're going to be impressed. One of them I haven't seen.
But the bus will be there.
The bus will be there.
The bus
right.
is cool.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we always love being close to Craig.
So Steve, does your floor print change a lot year to year? If you looked at kind of the blueprint of how you set the different sections up inside the show.
Right. No, it basically stays the same. There's a lot of things we have to take in consideration. We have to make sure our aisles are at least 10 foot wide for emergency exits and easy for people to get around. So it pretty much stays the same.
With the 500 vehicles, is that an increase year over year, or is that pretty much standard?
Well, they haven't had it in 2 years.
Well, yeah, but previous to that, it was 400.
No, that's pretty much standard. I mean, we have close to about 400 of them are in the ISCA part of the show, and then we have 2 separate sections, one for traditional rods and one's low rider section. They kind of run their own show inside ours.
Oh, is that okay? I didn't realize that. I'll tell you, that is some craftsmanship on the lowriders. I love wandering through there because there's generally something new somebody's doing, and everybody catches on. How many years ago was it etching the chrome became all of the thing, and that's some artistry to the work they do.
Yeah, they can do some great work.
Okay, so where are you? Are you still getting entries, or has that all pretty much been set?
I have a ton of entries in, but I am still receiving entries daily. I'm actually headed out to a show after this and going to pick up more.
Really?
Yes. So
is it a local show?
Yes, it's just one up the road here in Spring.
Gotcha. Well, what do you think is? I mean, have the Magnificent Seven already been set?
No, they haven't been set yet, but that will be determined on Friday.
This Friday?
Well, the Friday of the show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. But what about? Okay, so what about those cars that are up front? All of those that are up front don't necessarily become part of the Magnificent Seven?
No. No.
So how do what do you base your criteria on to select those cars that are on the front row?
Well, for me at this point, all the cars on the front row are the ones that are eligible for the Millwinders Award, and that would be part of the Magnificent Seven.
And who determines that?
Those are the ISCA judges.
I
okay.
got you. All right. See, I mean, I don't know anything about this, but I just thought that that's interesting.
Well, and when you look at how they score it, there's also part of the score is the staging that they do for the
absolutely.
vehicle. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, up and tilted and mirrors and spaced out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a rarity that any of the Magnificent Seven are what I would call a floor car, but there was a couple of years ago, the guy with that green Suburban, his wasn't in a big elaborate display, but he was one of the Magnificent Seven, so that it is still eligible for anybody, even if they don't build a real complex stage to show the car off.
Right. Okay, so there's the Magnificent Seven. Now, how do you decide where you're going to sprinkle the vendors throughout? Because it's not like some one major vendor section. They're scattered throughout the show.
Right. And usually when I sign up a lot of the big car restoration shops, you know, I'll go sit down with them with a floor plan and I'll say, hey, you know, how big of a space do you need? And then we'll kind of pick out a part of the show they want to be in and I'll put them there. And then, you know, of course, we wouldn't put another builder right next to them. And then, you know, we have all kinds of vendors that do different things. And then we just kind of spread them in, you know, just around the show.
Yeah, sprinkle them in. Right.
Kind of depending on how big a space they need and all that.
Well,
correct.
And the show's kind of proven itself as valuable to the vendors because you have so many people return year after year after year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of the same vendors returning.
And do they kind of request the same spot, or does it not matter and you just assign spots as they're good?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. A lot of them do. They're like, my customers know I'm in this area. I need to be, you know, in the same spot or real close to it. So.
Yeah.
Anybody request being close to the in-wheel time booth?
Bierman.
No, not
Not anybody.
Not anybody. Matter of fact, actually, what they try to do is get as far away from us as they possibly
by the
can.
restrooms or something.
Yeah. But, well,
Cool.
So there's also the swap meet guys. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you, Steve, I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't buy anything from the swap meet, but I sure get a kick out of going through there and see what people have drug up there to sell. I mean, it never amazes me anymore every year to see what is up there. I mean, bodies of cars that are all rusted hulks on some trailer, and you're going, does he really think that he's going to sell it here? And a lot of times they do.
Yeah.
They probably do.
I need that.
Yeah, exactly. Or bumpers or wheels or whatever it is.
There's always 3 or 4 different 3-do setups. And I always see them and I always say, I need that. I want that. I just got to figure out what can I do with it.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. And I assume that people just drag that stuff right out the front door if they can. And if not, I guess they pick it up after the show's over with and drag it out the back door.
Just
or
leave
not.
it.
Am I right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they'll either, if it's small enough, they'll carry it around, or we do have a side door over there that's with security that they can, you know, park on the curb and, you know, load up something bigger, which is a shorter walk for them.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, the other thing, too, is that you're going to have, is it on Friday or Saturday that you've got this special deal out front?
Well, we're not having anything out front this year, but what we are having on Saturday, we're going to move them in Friday evening, but it's called the Tuner Galleria. And what it is, we're looking to have about 200 import and domestic high-performance cars come in, and they're going to be on display all day Saturday, and then they're going to roll out on Saturday night. So it's something a little different. It's worked really well in some of the other towns we do the shows in, and so we're going to try it here in Houston this year.
So where is it going to be if it's not going to be outside?
We have one extra hall to the far left, Hall A, and
where the auction used to be.
Yes, sir. Where the auction used to be, that's where we're going to hold this.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. And for people that don't know, every car that is inside there has a minimal amount of gasoline in it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And the fire marshal is there just to make sure that somebody doesn't bring in a full tank of gas.
And the battery has to be disconnected, my personal opinion, improperly disconnected, because you don't want to disconnect the positive cable because that's the one that arcs, disconnect the negative. But, they write their own rules, and you got to have your cable in a little
You
bag.
need to be on that committee or that board.
No.
Yeah.
Don't get me
We could have you sitting on a stool going, yes, no, yes.
Conrad at In-Wheel Time.
Yeah. But so there are some rules that you have to go by to show a car in this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what you mentioned, the main one, because those are the guys, after we get you in the building, those are the first ones you see are the fire marshals.
For good reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's minimize the risk. Let's just get them in there, and if you got to have gas to get out, then bring it in a 5-gallon jug to get your butt out of there and home. But don't be putting it in the gas tank before you get there.
And they check. They check every car.
Yep.
They came back and checked mine a second time because I had the wrong cable disconnected on the battery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's why that was my pet peeve.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is the one you want to know.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I made the mistake of not really being conscious about the amount of gas in the Corvair the year that I showed the Corvair.
They make you go
so,
drive it around?
My God, I had to drive that thing for 2 hours around the George R. Brown to get it to suck down enough gasoline to get me back in there.
And that's when it was getting 35 miles an hour.
Yeah. We went around that same block so many times, somebody called it cops because they thought he was casing the joint.
There you go.
So, Steve, over your shoulder is a stunningly beautiful Chevy Blazer. I know it's yours. Have you ever showed it at Autorama?
No, I did have it there one year, but not recently. It's too much work for me to show a vehicle
And be at and in control
and work. Yeah, I believe me, I know. So we understand that truck got put into a magazine recently.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, that's correct. I was up at a show in Fort Worth this past summer, and a magazine approached me, a photographer, CK Truck Magazine, and it came out this month.
Well, what kind of truck is it?
It's a 1972 Chevrolet Blazer.
A Chevy Blazer.
And what powertrain?
Original 2-wheel drive. It's got a newer fuel-injected LS2.
Sweet.
Like everybody else has got an LS engine, you just had to go with the flow.
I'm with you.
And that's why people need to come to the In-Wheel Time booth at Autorama this year to look at somebody who put a different take on engine swapping in a Chevy in a truck.
Surprise.
Yeah.
But they have to come see what
That's
what
all
we
we're going
got.
to tell you.
Oh, well, I promise you the truck is going to draw a crowd.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the one that we're having in there. Okay, so one of the things that I found out 2 years ago is, because we didn't have a show last year.
Right.
2 years ago was, and I always get Thanksgiving Day duty, which is fitting because I don't have anything going on. And I'm able to do it, and the show opens on Thanksgiving afternoon. What is it, 3:00?
Yes, we open it Thursday at 3:00.
Yeah.
3 to 8.
Well, one thing.
So after you finish your Thanksgiving,
No,
early
I've invited 'em over.
afternoon.
Year after year, I invite them.
That's
join us.
That's the story.
No, that's when you finish your Thanksgiving, you go to the Autorama.
No.
Oh. Yeah, well,
Why don't you just go ahead and do
invited
it
them
for
many
me then,
times.
since you obviously know more than I do.
I never know more than you do, Don.
Well, about my schedule, why
do.
not?
No, I wasn't talking about your schedule. I was talking about Autorama.
Oh, well.
Go to Autorama because
So the bottom line is, Steve, is I've learned that if you need to eat something before you go to Autorama, because I was trying to find a hot dog on Thanksgiving Day in the afternoon. No, can't do that, and they don't serve turkey dinners down there. So
They do at the Mission.
you're right. Maybe that's where I should have gone. So I just wanted to mention that so everybody knows. Don't go with the thought of having, turkey and dressing at the Autorama, because that ain't going to happen. Just thought I'd bring it up.
He'll be at my house. We'll get him over to my house.
But I will tell you, Steve, that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they got some great chili dogs there. You ought to know you've probably partaken in all of that just like I do.
Yes, I can't leave, so I'm eating there.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys have got some pretty fun guests coming this year, isn't it? Chip Foose on Friday?
Yes, correct. We're having Chip Foose on Friday from noon until 6 p.m.
Wow.
And then on Sunday, we're having one of the WWE wrestlers, Sting. And he will be there from 12 noon till 3 p.m.
Now, do you have a special privilege? Like you can walk up there and get their autograph and talk to them and stuff like that?
When they're on the stage, not really. I try to catch them when they first get there and maybe just say hi and shake their hand or take a picture, and then they're pretty busy from there on out.
Yeah, and you're back to work.
So you kind of like got a backstage pass.
Oh.
Well, just a little.
We have those with our band, too.
I think he hands out the backstage pass.
Yeah, that's it.
Only certain people are allowed to have them.
Well, I bet you Foose would be a lot of fun. I know his focus of late has been on bringing VOTEC classes back to high schools. It's become a real passion of his if you kind of follow him very much. And one, are you guys going to have anything? Is he going to talk anything about that? How important it is to bring the skill sets back to the high school level training? Oh.
Well, we don't have anything set up for that as a meeting. He may bring something up on stage. I'm not real sure, depending on the crowd there, but I'm pretty sure he'll have a good crowd most of the day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he does draw. Yeah.
All right, so what is it that you would suggest a first-timer going to Autorama look for?
Look for? Well, it's kind of a family event. So, it's bring the family, wear some comfortable shoes, come on in, and you're going to see some very nice vehicles. We got some bands playing throughout the weekend. We have a lot of different things happening. We have a Pinstripers panel jam going on.
Oh,
for charity.
yeah.
So,
don't you sell those pinstripe panels at the end of the show to auction them off?
Well, what it is, they're pinstriping throughout the weekend, and we have 2 auctions on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And we auction them off just right there to anybody, they're even the spectators, exhibitors, and all the proceeds go to Be an Angel Foundation.
Perfect.
Here in Houston.
Nice.
So if you're walking by one and you see one and you're interested in it, put a bid on it.
Steve, it's great to talk to you. We appreciate you joining us today, and best of luck. I know you're pulling your hair out about this point, trying to get everybody worked in that wants to get in.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thanks for
brother.
having-
Thank you, man. We'll see you. See you on Tuesday.
We'll see you there.
Yes, sir. See y'all then.
All right. So just to reiterate, and so you'll know, the show opens on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, runs 3 to 8. Then Friday and Saturday, hours are 10 to 8. And then Sunday, the hours are 10 to 6 because they give off the awards at 6 o'clock in the evening. So general admission, $20 a person. Children 6 to 12, $5. Children under 5, free. Available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. You can get a couple bucks off of everything.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Yeah.
Anything for veterans or
Seniors?
First responders.
I don't know all that. I'm
they
not the promoter.
They go to O'Reilly's and get a couple of bucks off.
Exactly.
That's it.
Okay, just making sure you got all the covered.
Okay. Time now for the events calendar.
So again,
Grogan's not again.
Well, some of the shows are repeated. Nifty 50s at Grogan's Mill, the Kemah Car Meet.
They had one hell of a turnout for a trunk or treat.
Oh, he always does. Randy always gets a huge turnout for
Good
trunk
for you,
or treat.
Randy.
It's not just the cars; it's the families that show up and wander around and get little treats. And some people really dress up their cars. And then today is Dull's Car and Truck Show.
Dull's?
Dull, Dulls, and it's at the Ark in Katy. It's at one of the church properties.
Perfect.
And that's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. today. Tomorrow, Speed Advocates is doing their Galveston Cruise. Meet at 9 o'clock at the Flying J in Travel Center in Pasadena at 1305 Pasadena Freeway.
Pass a get down, Dina.
Pass a get down, Dina.
There's a lot of J's.
And then they're going to be leaving at 9:40, going out 225 and then 146. 46 down to 45 and into Galveston.
That's way too complicated.
Well, just kind of letting everybody know the route. And, speed advocates generally, they'll get 100, 120 cars that will cruise like that.
Well, now that everything's opening back up, there could be more.
And then also Sunday is the food drive and car meet in Sinopolis. And that's up there at the Sinopolis Theaters in Tomball. And then Cars and Coffee, Aggieland Outfitters at 303 University is going to be tomorrow morning as well.
Very good. Mr. Mars has the banned race cars, a series that he's been doing. So what's been banned today?
So, well, what I wanted to talk about, I ran across this story about...
Do you need two computers in front of you?
Yes, I do. And that's a long story, but I'll not bore
I
you.
can only
with-
imagine
Yes,
that
absolutely.
we really don't want to hear about, but go ahead.
Yeah,
But tell
you
us
know.
about your banned race car.
So I ran across this story about a banned soapbox derby car.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, how can you get a soapbox derby banned?
You
know,
cheat.
a car banned. Well, so hang on to this one, Jeff.
You
So
betcha.
this is the picture of a modern day soapbox derby car.
Mm-hmm.
It's fiberglass. It's got special tires and wheels on it. And I mean, it comes in a kit and you can buy it at 3 different levels. So the old idea that we may have used, which down here we don't because we don't have any hills, but you grew up in Wisconsin, you may have ran into soapbox derby cars. There's actually an outfit outside of town here that we talked to a couple of years ago that they built a soapbox derby track so that people can do this, and it'll even go for adults. So anyway, so this is the track, and they've been doing this thing for years and years. But back in 1973, let's go to the next one,
Because
Jeff.
this is considered gravity racing.
This is strictly gravity racing. You start from a dead stop and you go down the hill. This is a picture of one of the kits. You can buy the kit, the base kit, for $520, plus you got to buy the wheels and things like that to go on it. So back in 1973, let's go to the next one, Jeff.
back when people built their own.
No, you have to buy this kit. You can't build one from scratch anymore. This is a stock. It's got some. You can kind of see the difference in these classes. So go to and this stock class is for 9 to 13-year-old kids. So you go to the next class. This is the super stock, and now you're getting into a 9 to an 18-year-old kid that can be pounds. These have got weight limits on them, different kind of things. And this is the master class where you could be 20-year-old can get involved in this, and it's got some brakes on it, and it's got more complicated. But again, you buy these kits and you assemble them and you finish them with the wheels and the axles and things like that. Got to meet all these specs. So the idea being that everybody's basically the same. Okay.
So we're ready to hear what
So-
was banned.
Yep.
So you go. So back in 1973, there was a young 14-year-old. His uncle built him this car right here. This is the layout of it. And the way it works, all the cars have got this metal plate in front of them that holds all the cars even so that when the plate drops, everybody starts down the hill the same. Well, the kid didn't know anything about it, but the uncle put a big magnet in the front of the car. And the magnet was attracted to the metal plate. So when the metal plate dropped down, it pulled the car forward.
Sir, that is a Conrad DeLong deluxe.
Blaming it on you. Well, this one didn't need a starter. This one didn't.
Yeah, it didn't need a start, so it did. So, I mean, he won the race. There was 130 entries from around the world in
So
1973.
no
when he
magnets
was there.
allowed.
So this wasn't an
magnet allowed.
EV. This is an
It's
MRI.
gravity fed. So, and what really got my attention, I mean, I thought it was kind of a unique idea to do that, but the poor kid, as he grew up, because of the notoriety, he got banned. His uncle that built the car
Smoking
got
in the
banned
boys'
and
room.
all that stuff. He ended up changing his name, and you know, because of the notoriety, because he ruined such a pure sport.
Way to go.
And he didn't have anything to do with it. It
He
was his
didn't,
uncle.
he didn't ruin anything. He outthought everybody
No,
else.
his uncle did. This
Yeah,
kid
that's
was
okay.
just the driver. And
Wait,
I
you know
really
what?
felt sad
I
for
would-
him.
But still, that moment of acceleration of that little door going down.
and it jumped so fast on everybody else.
Everybody noticed.
Oh, yeah. And they x-rayed it, and they found it.
God.
And that car is at the museum
I love
for
it.
Soapbox Derby. They've got it on display.
Great.
I'd put an LS in it.
The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Hey, Houston, it's back! America's greatest hot rod tradition is on Thanksgiving weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars featuring the ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics and the Traditional Rod Garage. Saturday only, it's the Tuner Galleria with 250 imports, JDM, and luxury cars, plus music and models. Autorama. It's so much more than a car show. On the celebrity stage, presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration, it's Chip Foose from TD's Overhauling on Friday and wrestling superstar Sting on Sunday. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 25th to 28th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com.
Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly cruise-in, will return Saturday, December 18th to the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos wants to thank all of the participants and fans who've enjoyed the collector cars, hot rods, customs, originals, and resto mods, and everything in between. We'll be taking a break for Thanksgiving and Autorama, but we'll be back for a great Christmas cruise-in on December 18th, so make plans now. You know that Tailpipes and Tacos is the Houston area's coolest cruise-in, a place you'll see friends, family, and the finest cruise-in cars in the Houston area. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for a very special Christmas cruise-in, Loopy style. It's Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 18th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Let's celebrate the Christmas season together at the next Tailpipes and Tacos on December 18th. We'll see you then, weather permitting.